We're in a new year and we're in a new cycle. Can you feel it? It's really quite different than 2025, even though we're just marching into this time frame. But we are now entering a period where the universe is inviting us to take charge of our experience, to take charge of our life, to give it validity, not to look to others, to affirm or confirm that what we feel is important to listen to. My name's Sonia Choquette. Welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, I'm so excited. I believe your higher self and the connections you're looking for, the guidance you're looking for might have brought you here. And for those of you coming back, I'm so happy to welcome you back. Thank you for being here. And let's get on with setting the tone for 2026. We're moving now closer to, being in a full month. And it's time to set a different precedent for what directs our lives. For example, notice what's changing in you. Have you felt that you're less tolerant of energy and from people and situations if it doesn't resonate with you? Or are you feeling a little more inclined to leave or disconnect? Are your inner senses are turning up, the universe, your spirit guides, your angels, your higher self are all turning up the dials in you that say, listen, what you're receiving, what you are feeling is important. You can trust yourself. Take charge of your experience. Be willing to be responsible and able to respond to the experiences energetically that you're entering. And so that you can stay in coherence. That means to have your head and your heart and your gut and your feet all moving in the same direction. So you're not struggling with yourself. So today we're going to talk about making some major changes in what moves you in the world and quieting the internal noise so that you can hear your angels and your guides and you can feel energetically the support that is available to you. I hope that you find something here that's really valuable. The first is that we have to make some new decisions. And I think, and I mentioned before and again, that the most important decision to make is that I am a divine being. I am a soul in a body that is connected to a divine support system. And despite what I've learned or what I've been told, I can trust that support system if I create the conditions to let me tune into it. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. What will make my inner guidance, my intuition, my sense of connection and support to angels and guides and my higher self stronger? So the first thing is to give yourself more quiet time. Do you know that if you would just afford yourself 10 minutes a day, no stimulation, no social media, no background noise, just go quiet. And even better, the less sensory stimulation you can create, the better. I mean, if you can sit in a quiet room with the door shut, the phone not even around you, that would even be better, but it's not necessary. It just helps. In that quiet time, don't try to do anything but just unwind your nervous system and breathe. Breathing in through the nose and pause, exhaling and pause. There's actually a nervous system reset where you breathe into 4, hold for 2, exhale for 8, hold for 2. You do that 3 rounds of that, then just quietly sit. Just quietly sit. Let your body unwind, move out of fight or flight. Just relax. You may or may not get intuitive downloads, but you create the avenue for which them to come in the future. You create the channel by quieting and clearing the noise. The next thing to do is be more discerning. In other words, pay attention and more mindful about what you choose to listen to. Don't listen to things that disturb your spirit. That includes conversations that are negative. That includes violent shows. That includes people yelling and ranting and raving. That disturbs the channel and floods you with negativity, so you get disconnected from your higher self and you get disconnected from your guides and you feel scared because that energy is very ungrounding. So to the best of your ability, be selective about what you listen to. Now, I have a story to share with you. I grew up with a mom who was a miracle worker and an intuitive, and she was deaf. She lost her hearing during the war when she was a child. She lip read. She wore 2 hearing aids, and she got maybe 3 to 5% hearing on a good day. And she said to me and to many people while she was alive that that was her biggest blessing, because she didn't have to listen to the nonsense of the world, and it allowed her in her quiet to hear her spirit. So that quiet was modeled to me, that willingness to not put that much importance on what people say and the noise. And that's now been really turned up with social media, always blaring at you and having so much access to input. One of the best decisions you can make this year in order to connect with your guides, your higher self, your beautiful spirit, is to create quiet and to protect it. Treasure it as a huge and empowering choice for you, because it brings you back to self. It calms your nervous system from overload, which takes you out of fight or flight. And that it allows you to feel the communication of your guides, because it's not words in your head. It's a feeling that comes into the cells of your body. The next choice to make to be a truly guided person this year, to be connected, to sense the energy of your angels and to know when they're there, your guides, your helpers, is to move your body more. Move your body. It gets you out of your head, which does not receive guidance. It doesn't have to be a big, exercise workout. Just go for a daily walk. If you can't walk, then move your body to some music that you love without words. That's really very good. And, if you can't even do that, then you can move your breath. Just focus on breathing and not holding your breath. Keeping the energy moving. Just imagine it's like keeping all the heavy energies from accumulating. That's another big tool for how to become a guided being. And the next big surprise is that when you get guidance, if you say it out loud, you accomplish several major things. First, you give it importance. If you say, my vibes say, or check, what do my vibes say, and answer out loud, then you're telling your subconscious mind to quit filtering this away and blurring it, to sharpen it. Plus the sound of your own voice, you feel the vibration of what you're saying. And if your vibration is accurate, if what you're tuning into and what you're expressing is actually dialing in accurately to what's going on, your body relaxes. Absolutely. Even if what you're saying is a warning, like my vibes say, don't trust that person, the minute you say it out loud, your body relaxes. I had a client who came to me she said, I am a nervous mess all the time. I'm hypervigilant. I'm overreactive. I get very defensive. I get very excited. People tell me I'm annoying, and I really don't know how to reset. And I said, well, it's because your mind's at war with your spirit, and your spirit is giving you guidance and your mind is denying it. And so it creates a collision inside that makes you very reactive and tense. Every time you get a gut feeling, an aha, a vibe, a sense, even if it just flitters across your attention, and that's the way it will come, just acknowledge it by saying it out loud. And here's the key. You don't have to act on it. Just acknowledge it. But once you say it out loud, it's affirmation to your spirit that you're paying attention. You can choose to listen or not, but once you say it out loud, you can't deny it. You feel it wash through you. It relaxes you. My vibes say go home. Everybody here is telling me to stay and party with them, but my guidance is saying go home. I had a client one time, actually, this is a story about my very first client. She came to me, my next door neighbor, who was about 6 years older than me. I was maybe 14 and a half, so he was a big crush on him. He said, I want to bring my boss over because I think you could read for her. And I was so scared and flattered, and I wanted to do a good job, but I wasn't that confident. So when she came, she said, I want to know about this man I'm dating. And interestingly, I was very early in my days of reading and trying to discern energy. And I said, well, all I know is that you need to go home. And you need to go home. And she laughed at me and she said, oh, honey, I'll go home. And very condescending, I said, I don't think that guy is good for you and you need to go home. So she was annoyed. She said, well, this was cute. You're so cute. I do remember that. And I said, well, I don't want to be cute. I'm just telling you. Your guides are telling you, you need to go home. So anyway, she went to see her boyfriend. She was married and she had 2 children at home. There are 2 boys and they were, I think, 10, 11, and maybe 13, 14. And the younger boy had some difficulties, physical difficulties. He was functional, but he was not fully independent. And yet, because she didn't go home after work, he tried to cook dinner and he accidentally started the house on fire. And had she gone home after work, maybe that wouldn't have happened. My neighbor, the guy I had the crush on, told me later, boy, you really freaked her out. That's what happened. And so she associated me with negativity instead of being the person giving her the SOS direction. Such is life. Things have changed now, but in the beginning, guides and vibes are very simple. They're not going to give you a dissertation or a whole backstory about what you need to do. Your guidance is going to come in 2 words. Go home. Stop this. Don't do that. That's how guidance comes. So start saying it out loud and see what happens to your body. The more you relax, the clearer your guidance becomes. And the more you acknowledge it, the more clear your guidance becomes. So you can start connecting, even channeling. And the channel you want to channel with most is your own higher self, because it knows how to take care of you. So that's another big lesson. So quiet, movement, express out loud what you're feeling. Then you can decide to listen or not. When I gave that woman that intuitive reading way back in the beginning of my career and my vocation, she chose to ignore it, but she got the memo. See, we always get a choice. At least get the memo. Get what's trying to come through by expressing it. And if you really want to do something exciting, write it down or record it, because you'll have evidence in even 2 short weeks that you need to start paying attention. Pay attention to your body, because when you listen, when your body's agitated, then your inner self your intuition is giving you guidance. Your angels are trying to get through. Your guides are trying to help you, and it's colliding with your ego mind, which says, no, I don't want to make a change. I don't want to pay attention to that, or, oh, that's weird. This is the time where we need to stop putting our intuition in the weird category and say, that's important information that I am going to listen to. So these are big, huge, game-changing choices, but if you just make them, they're small in terms of actually implementing them. They're small, but they're based on a whole different set of values, which is my inner self is who's going to lead my life. My spirit guides. And most of all, you know what this says? I trust myself. I had a client in a class, the husband of a woman who came. She really wanted to be there, but she didn't want to go alone. Please come with me. So he showed up, but he was not at all invested in learning anything. I could tell by the kind of condescending smirk on his face when he walked in the door. However, I believe if you show up, even like to hear, there's a huge part of you that's wanting to be here, even if your ego is telling you something else. So as I began my workshop, he stopped being so ego-driven. He got interested, and he said he particularly liked the tool of claim it. Say it and claim it out loud, even if you don't listen to it. And I said, record it. So being sort of scientific, he took me at my word when I said, after 2 weeks, you're going to have evidence. So every time he had a vibe, he recorded it. He either wrote it down or put it on his phone, and he did this for 3 months. Then he sent me an email and said, I did what you said. I didn't believe you. In fact, when I started, I wanted to prove you wrong and my wife wrong, because all of this higher awareness was really annoying my ego. I didn't want to change. I didn't want to be that attentive or responsible. But he said, I started, and even after a week, things I felt and had recorded started happening. I was at work and I was talking to a guy at work, and my guide said, don't trust him. My inner voice and my gut said, don't trust him. In fact, I remember he said, I prefer to say this is my gut, because he was getting an instinct of protection. So my gut said, don't trust him. And he was one of the new guys at work. So I was a little bit careful, and sure enough, within weeks, I saw that he would talk to people, take our ideas, and then claim them for himself. But the fact that I got the memo, as I said in my workshop, I didn't share much. And pretty soon, a lot of complaints about how he was ripping everybody's ideas off and claiming them for themselves was going around the office and causing a lot of drama, but he never did it to me. So because that was the first thing. Then I had a really subtle vibe. He said one morning, I had this vibe, take the garbage out now, because they're going to pick it up. And he said I had been doing a lot of housekeeping and cleaning and renovating, and I had big things that I needed to take out to the garbage. And they were always clockwork on time on Wednesdays, but my guide said, go now, which was about 15 minutes early. So I dragged all this stuff that I wanted to get rid of out, and sure enough, the minute I hit the curb, around the corner came the truck. Not only that, the guys offered to help me. It's a little deal, but it made a big difference in my day. And that's another point. Your guidance is always going to say, more likely going to announce little deals that make a big difference. It made his day that he took out the things that, the bags of debris or whatever he had been working on in his renovation out, and just had a simple support and whisk it away, because he listened. His intellect, his logic said they always come at 8 o'clock, and it was 20 to 8. But that day they just said, I don't know why we're here early, but here we are. So it became a game for him, and it became quite fun. So this can be your game too. Every time you get a gut feeling, an aha, a hunch, anything, don't censor. Don't shop it around. Just write it down or say it out loud. And if you write it down or record it, check it in a week or two. You're going to find, if you name it, you claim it. And the more you name it, the more it comes in. And it really will start making you quite intuitive very quickly. So these are just a couple of tools. I love doing readings. I love teaching classes. I love empowering people. But the key is you have to decide that you're going to make this important. And when you do, everything will turn on very quickly. You really can be connected to your guides. You really can get your own angelic messages. You really can have gut feelings and ahas that make all the difference in the world, if not only to make your life more magical and more fun. You can channel. You can, because you're divinely designed to. So put in the comments if you've used any of these tools, or if any you have yourself, but are you listening? Because even a comment here, you're writing it down, what your guidance says. So even do that and come back a week from now or 2 weeks and see what your own comment said. Because you will be surprised that you're right on, you're tuning right into something super important. Let's not be watching from the bleachers. or out in the balcony. Let's all dive in on this playing field and start living as the intuitive, guided, connected, angelically supported beings that we are. This is the time to do it. Don't sit it out any longer, and don't wait for anyone to give you permission. It comes from you. Thank you. If you found this valuable, first of all, put the comments in, because then it will be valuable. What your guides are saying, what your gut is saying, what your heart is saying, what your instinct is saying. Just anything. You don't need to be right. Just put it out there and see what happens. And then if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you have subscribed and you're finding this useful and you would love to empower your friends, share this and say, check this channel out, because I am on a mission to empower and turn on all your senses and help you channel with the help of my angels and guides, your angels and guides, the light beings we're channeling. It is time that you take charge of your life and find the peace and the ground and the satisfaction that comes with it. So you don't live scared and reactive, that you live clear, guided, and really quite successful. It actually brings the magic back. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week. All my love.